What is going on, guys and gals? Tyler here, and as many of you know, E3 has just came around, and with it, a whole slew of games coming out in the near future. Like, honestly, I can already hear my wallet crying, and these games aren't even close to coming out yet. So, with all of these incredibly hyped games coming out, I thought it would be a good idea to list off my personal top 10 E3 game reveals. Honorable mentions go to No Man's Sky, which, although it wasn't revealed at E3, is still a game I'm incredibly hyped for, and also for Watch Dogs 2, which I only kept off the list because I'm really not sure how I feel about it, given the disappointing, or at least in my opinion disappointing, first installment. 4 words: Norman Reedus, Hideo Kojima. After the highly anticipated but eventually dropped game Silent Hills, many wondered what Kojima would do now that he had left Konami. The lack of Silent Hills pissed many people off, including myself, solely because the PT, or playable trailer for the game, was terrifying in itself. And it was also just tons of fun. It seemed as though once the game was cancelled, about 75% of the entire world's population was disappointed by the amazing game never becoming a reality. But now our prayers have finally been answered with Death Stranding. The duo of Kojima and Norman Reedus return once again, setting E3 ablaze with an ominous and intriguing sneak trailer, which, is enough to set it on my list. The only reason why this isn't any higher is because we have really yet to see any gameplay or any plot information, or really anything other than Norman Reedus' ass when it comes to the game, so I don't really have much to go off of when forming an opinion. Still, seeing the horror genius back in action with Norman Reedus in the lead role gets me excited enough to put Death Stranding on the list. Death Stranding is set to release in late 2017. From a PlayStation exclusive to an Xbox One exclusive, the list carries on with the 4th installment in the critically acclaimed Gears of War franchise. Gears 4 looks to carry on the tradition of stellar, action-packed gameplay and excellent third-person shooter mechanics. Originally revealed with an impactful trailer set to the tune of Sounds of Silence, covered by Disturbed, E3 gave us more insight into the highly anticipated game with a near 7-minute demo. The graphics looked excellent, as did what little gameplay we saw. This is easily one of my most anticipated games of the year, and I hope that it carries the Gears franchise to greater heights than ever seen before. The only reason why this isn't any higher on the list is pretty much just because I really haven't had too much fun with the Gears games since Gears of War 3, so I'm not 100% sold that they're able to mimic the classic success of the older games. Nevertheless, Gears of War 4 is set to release on October 11th, 2016. At number 8, we have a game that, in all honesty, is easily in the top 3 games that I'm most excited for. But because it's the list of game reveals, and this is essentially just a reskin of an already existing game, it just wouldn't be fitting to put it in the top 3 for this list. Elder Scrolls Remastered, or that's what I'm just going to call it, is a game that, oh my god, just look at it. Those graphics, they're so beautiful. The scenery is magnificent, the original Skyrim was amazing anyways, so you already know the gameplay is going to be great, and the textures just look incredible. One of the major additions that excites me the most is that mods are now finally accessible on consoles for Skyrim, which, give me a second. Wow! I am so hyped for this game, and I can't wait to adventure through the world of Skyrim one last time. Well, actually probably 100 last times, because I'm going to be playing this game for a long while. And we're off with another console exclusive that after that brief Elder Scrolls break, we come back to God of War. Another installment in the popular franchise, God of War looks to carry the torch from its predecessors quite well. The graphics, at least from what we've been shown, are stunning, and you take the lead as you could expect, Kratos, but this time with his son thrown into the mix. The trailer we've been given shows Kratos teaching his son how to hunt, when soon a battle ensues between him and another god. From what we've been shown, it appears that the gods this time around will be more Nordic-based, which is a welcome change from the classic Greek and Roman deities. God of War just looks amazing, there's not much I can say for it, and it's set to release in 2017. State of Decay 2 seemed to break the glass ceiling and actually became a pretty incredible game, in an oversaturated genre might I add. State of Decay 2 looks to be the same zombie bashing and incredibly intuitive fun of the first game, this time with two major differences. One, the graphics are of course improved as to be expected, and two, there's finally multiplayer thrown into the mix. The trailer didn't reveal too much other than that, but it showed enough to get me and just about any other gamer out there enticed. State of Decay 2 is set to release in, you guessed it, 2017. The questions have all been answered, and it's official. Injustice 2 is finally upon us. Now, we all knew this before E3, but the convention gave us so much more information on the highly anticipated fighter, such as some more of the roster, some of the new and improved super moves, and even some new combos and some new information such as the gear system. Injustice 2 looks to be a lot like the first installment, but this time, like I said, with an improved roster, far superior graphics, and new gameplay elements that will put a spin on the classic mechanics. For instance, there's a gear system now that can improve a certain character's stats in any given area, such as health, speed, strength, etc. As a huge fan of NetherRealm Studios and their consistent releases of exceptional fighting games, I am more excited than ever for this new sequel to Injustice. Much like just about every other good game coming out, this game is set to release in 2017. When it came down to these final four, trust me, it was almost too hard to choose between these last few entries. But alas, a decision had to be made, and Dishonored 2 takes the number 4 spot on my list. It was a tough decision, but I felt as though I had to do it. But nevertheless, this looks to be an amazing game. The first Dishonored game was an easy 9 out of 10 for me anyways, and this game looks to improve on everything that was great about the first one. A new plot, gameplay shrouded in stealth and secrecy, some more brutal executions, and a whole new slew of powers at your disposal. Yeah, I really don't see how this game could possibly go wrong. Also, to add a cherry to this marvelous sundae, the graphics are also looking beautiful. I mean, then again, that should just be expected at this point. I have yet to see a game that's not trying to be, more retro, that doesn't look amazing this year. Dishonored 2 is set to release on November 11th, 2016. Yeah, at the number 3 slot, this pick is more for sentimental value for me, which is why I put Dead Rising 4 at my 3rd spot. Yes, I'm fairly confident that objectively, Dishonored 2 will likely be a better game than Dead Rising 4, but honestly, I'm a bit of a Dead Rising fanboy, so I am incredibly hyped for this game. Dead Rising 4 appears to have a Christmas theme to it, and it puts you once again back in control of the classic, photographing protagonist who has covered wars, Frank West. And also, from a few screenshots that we've been shown, it seems to be taking place back in the Willamette Mall. That's an annoying name. So there are a whole new vast array of weapons to create and use in this game from what we've been shown, including a barbed wire bat, Lucille. The developers of Dead Rising 4 have stated that they didn't like how Dead Rising 3 turned out and are looking to take the aspects that they did like, such as the multiplayer function, and expand upon them in this game, which is exciting in itself, seeing that Dead Rising 3 was really not a bad game. Knowing that the devs saw an easy at least 7 out of 10 game as a disappointment and are trying to improve upon what already works, really should be a telltale sign that this is going to be one great game. I can't wait to play through the entire game again with a friend, and hopefully I'll feel the same excitement as I did when I got the last game in the franchise with my Xbox One. Dead Rising 4 is set to release in December of 2016, and of course, just like the last one, it will be exclusive to the Xbox One. Sorry, you gotta give the Xbox One a break. The PlayStation 4 is taking all the good games. These final two. Oh, these final two. It was a battle, let me tell you that much. But in the end, SpiderMan for the PlayStation 4 took the number 2 spot. Words cannot describe how hyped I am for this game, especially seeing that I'm a huge Spider-Man fan and an even bigger Spider-Man game fan. This trailer alone highlighted the stunning, absolutely sensational graphics, the sweet 60 FPS frame rate, and the beautiful gameplay that will be brought about in this game. Just when I thought all hope was lost and that Marvel just completely went to the dark side of mobile games, this gets released and my prayers are finally answered. This trailer alone makes Spider-Man look almost as good as, dare I say it, Spider-Man 2 for the Xbox and PlayStation 2. Sorry, I know that's a stretch, and it's way too early to make claims like that against such an amazing game, but seriously, it's how I feel from what we've been shown. This game, along with No Man's Sky, is what's forcing me to buy a PlayStation 4, something I really hadn't planned on until now. This game is set to release in, you guessed it, 2017. At the number 1 spot is a game that I have been anticipating since it was announced, that being Mafia III. Now, Mafia 3, like a few other games on this list, was announced before E3, but it already looked incredible, and the trailer shown at E3 just got the hype train up and working again. I'm a sucker for games involving the Mafia, and I was a huge fan of Mafia 2, so you can only imagine my excitement for Mafia 3. Everything about this game looks incredible, from the graphics, to the plot, to the gameplay, to the brutality even. Words cannot describe how hyped I am for this game. I've said that a few times, but believe it or not, all those times have been true, including this one, and I can't believe that this soon-to-be masterpiece is almost upon us. Yes, I know this game wasn't revealed at E3, but a lot of information was given at E3, along with yet another expansive trailer. So, I don't care. This game is my most anticipated game that was revealed at E3. Mafia 3 is set to release on October 7th, 2016. So that's my list, guys, on the top 10 games that were revealed at E3. What do you guys think? What games are you excited for? What games are you anticipated for? Leave it all in the comment section down below. Be sure to leave a like if you enjoyed, and if you're new, be sure to subscribe. My name is Tyler, and I am out.